Youi is spending millions proving the biggest mistake in marketing. Don't amplify beige messaging. While they're paying Ed Cavalier to make dad jokes about insurance, there's 2 startups in America that are just completely reinventing the entire industry with a fraction of the budget, and I'm about to show you exactly how they did it. This is The Grind, challenging marketing strategy while we have coffee together. Cheers. Look, everyone's talking about this Youi campaign like it's just bad advertising creative. It's not really. Well, it is, but it's also a masterclass in how to waste money amplifying a bad strategy. I'm going to tear this apart using my 4 grind questions. Then I'm going to show you how Lemonade and Root Insurance solved the exact same problem Youi is trying to solve, but they did it with brilliant strategy instead of celebrity dad jokes. So if you're in marketing, this is the difference between wasting millions and building an actual brand that actually steals some market share from the competitors. That's the point, isn't it? Plus, it's going to get you promoted faster. So here we go. Let me pull this apart using my 4 grind questions. All right, question number 1. What's their customer transformation, which is important in any strategy? Well, they're promising to transform the premium pain that people feel into extra dollars in the pocket of everyday Australians. It shows real people kind of feeling relief a little bit while they're saying that they do. It's legit, but it's also why this campaign is so frustrating, because this price comparison space is where Budget Direct and Compare the Market sit. It's their territory. They're the aggregators. They're going to tell me who's cheaper. I'm not going to believe you, Youi, until I consult with one of these guys. So Youi needs to transform me on another level. How are they going to make my life different apart from saving money? I mean, can they? I don't know. Let me explain something that most marketers get a little bit wrong about budget allocation. And I know it sounds simple, but there's an art in allocating budget between creative brains and advertising time. And that seems a little bit lost on Youi and some other insurance companies, I would argue, like Budget Direct, and Compare the Market for that matter. But anyway, we'll talk about that later. I think if you spend more on creative or pay excellent people to do your strategy, you can save more money on airtime. Like, it's pretty simple, right? Boring beige ads need more airtime to get remembered. So they end up in a situation where creative doesn't matter. It just needs to be safe. Any boring old shite will do. So the strategy is just to throw millions into airtime looking for general awareness. General awareness here, ready to make your marketing so beige, it's virtually impossible to evaluate. That was a little bit of a Hey Hey It's Saturday from the 1980s, in case anyone picked it up. But why not make your strategy more creative? And when you look at who they're actually targeting, it gets worse. Grind question number 2, who's the customer they're targeting? Looks like they're chasing anyone with a car, which is way too broad in my opinion. Looks like every other insurer chasing volume, not loyalty. Now, I looked this up. From 2019 to 2024, smaller insurers' share of the motor insurance market actually increased from 37% to 43%. And Youi is one of these. It's a mass market challenger, but it needs to find its customer cult, its own cult. Now, finding what they do for their customer cult is even harder. Their unique selling proposition in this series, well, that's even more generic. Let's look at that. Grind question number 3. What's their special magic ingredient, their USP? Well, Youi's long-standing You Insured platform has been refreshed, or it looks like it's been refreshed, as insurance that's a bit more U-shaped. But what this campaign says to me is that it's all about being cheaper. And that's why you go to Budget Direct or the Meerkats, right? They need something stronger. Don't they have anything stronger? But here's where it gets really interesting. Their brand personality choice. Grind question number 4, what's their archetype? Now, I use Carl Jung's archetype to identify opportunities. This sort of theory works in our subconscious connection to 12 global archetypes that work across any culture. And the really successful brands, the really amazingly successful brands, have been onto this for years. Now, Youi has gone for the jester via a B-grade celebrity and some dad jokes. And here's where the psychology gets fascinating. So, apparently, researchers say that the ability of celebrities to persuade is rooted in our biology. Both humans and primates follow the lead of high status, high prestige individuals. So my big question is, Why Ed Cavalier? If you choose the Jester archetype, if you have some seriously funny and well-targeted material, it'll work. But this campaign is not that. So here's what they could have done instead, because I don't want to just bag out these campaigns. I want to give them an option. What I think Youi could do is take another archetype position, because it seems that they actually don't have any real differentiator. So they could differentiate via a unique archetype, something that's different in the market. So let's run them through the rebel position instead. Look, there's a massive opportunity here that they're completely missing. Insurance is ripe for rebellion. It's full of outdated practices, confusing policies, customers who actually feel ripped off. Now, in the US, there's a challenger insurance brand that's absolutely crushing it. And they're both, actually there's two of them, they're both doing it with the rebel archetype. So firstly, we're going to have a look at Lemonade Insurance. Now, this campaign is called Changing Insurance, Starting with Everything. They're calling out everything wrong with traditional insurance and backing it up with AI-powered claims in seconds, not weeks. I love this campaign. Obviously, the paperwork and and the detail that you've got to go through to, if you're ever going to read the terms and conditions, is something that people don't like doing. Okay, now we're going to look at Root Insurance, another US insurer. They're rebelling against the entire risk assessment model. It's a great campaign. Instead of judging you by your postcode or your age, they judge you by how you actually drive. They ask you to download an app that monitors your driving. If you're a good driver, you get cheaper deals. I mean, the campaign's slick. It looks fantastic. The USP, yes, it's creepy, but how amazing. Like, these are two companies that's actually taken that rebel archetype by the throat and they've gone for it. These brands aren't hiring comedians to distract you from their mediocrity. They're positioning themselves as rebels who expose industry BS and fix it. This is exactly why amplifying mediocrity with massive media spend is the fastest way to waste your budget. Seriously. Get creative with smaller reach, and that will beat shithouse creative with massive reach every single time. And look, it's not just Youi that does it. How about that bloody awful CGI eagle from Allianz? Oh my goodness, don't get me started. Okay, next time I'm going to look at another campaign that somehow makes this Youi disaster look genius. So hit subscribe so you don't miss it, and drop a comment. What's the worst example of amplifying mediocrity that you've ever seen? And if you want to see more marketing autopsies using my 4 growing questions, I'm going to break down campaigns on this channel all the time. So see you in the next one.